Welcome to the Black Dragon Tavern. I'm your host, Dante,
And I'm your host, Deacon.
and welcome back to episode, what is this now? Episode 7.
Yeah, episode 7.
Yeah, I can't believe it. That whole month of July went by really fast, and here
It
we are already
did,
into
yeah.
August. So, uh, so let's kick things off. I mean, I guess the first thing I want to do is I just want to give a shout out to Ron for stopping in last week, watching us play Space Hulk. That was super cool. He's going to be like our biggest fan. He'll be our number one supporter. We'll have to give homie a VIP when we get to that point where we can do that. But in case you missed that last week, we played Space Hulk from the Battle Zone, and unfortunately, we had some network connectivity issues where the stream got dropped, and then Twitch usually splits the recordings like that. So sadly, episode 6 was done in 2 parts, but it's not too terrible. But if you check our YouTube channel out, you can get the entire VOD there, uninterrupted, and we'll get that link to YouTube posted up on Facebook tonight. We don't have a vanity URL yet for YouTube, so it's not easy to give out. Like, I can't just say go to youtube.com/Black Dragon Tavern, because we don't have that right now. It's just a series of weird numbers. But we'll get that posted. Check it out. Like it. Follow us. Do all the cool social stuff. Check us out on Instagram while you're at it. We got some eye candy up there. And speaking of eye candy, did you get any shots last week of the Space Hulk stuff?
I did. I got a couple.
Okay.
So,
Good.
We'll throw them up on Instagram.
Yeah. All right. I got a couple too. So we'll take a look at those and we'll work on that. We've been total slackers lately, like over the last week. Haven't really done much. Worked a little bit on the Discord server because we promised folks that we would get that up pretty soon, and soon is turning into like an eternity. But it's all good. I want to make sure it's all set up. Excuse me. All set up correctly, and that things are working right, and we're not going to get a ton of bots or spammers and all that other kind of nasty shite. So, so what else? What other kind of housekeeping stuff was I going to talk about?
That's a good question.
Talked about Space Hulk the last week, the server. Yeah, I mean, it's been sort of like that again all week, where I've run out of time to try to do this stuff with a new job. Getting settled into a new job is really exciting, but it's long hours and it's taxing. And just kind of plugging along, doing stuff here and there when I can squeeze 5 minutes here or 15 minutes there. Like even doing that, the event ads this week, the covers for the Facebook events, was like literally last minute. I squeezed them in late last night, got them up online as fast as I could. I really like doing those, but I hate when it gets pressured for time.
Yeah.
But speaking of plugging along, I'm off my Facebook ban now, so
Yeah, you are.
you'll be
Good
happy to
for
know.
you.
You can, for anybody watching, you can start the countdown till the next time I get banned, and maybe we'll start a betting pool on that. Not like an actual money betting pool because that would be illegal, but I'm sure we can figure something out. How long will it be before Ephraim gets another 30-day ban from Facebook for calling out fascists, misogynists, sexists, homophobes, and everybody else in between that is a just vicious POS? Anyway, we'll leave it at that. Sorry for my rant. You didn't look very happy about that. You're like, oh God, here he goes.
Yeah, here we go again.
But anyway, again, speaking of plugging along, I'm excited about that because now I can focus on the stuff that's important, like plugging this channel, to my network. So, and I already did get like a whole bunch of replies. So hopefully, folks will tune in tonight and check it out. Another exciting thing that happened that I think you might like is 2 days ago, I guess, I got the news that dropped that Kevin Smith is back on set. They're filming Clerks III.
Yeah.
So Kevin Smith, Jay Muse, the whole crew, they're back.
David Callahan.
Yep, they're gonna have like I think it's most of the original people that were in Clerks are there, and they're shooting in Leonardo, New Jersey, where the Quickie Mart is, and it's gonna take place there. And I guess there was a story on, I think I saw it on a Google story. I can't remember what the source was, but I saw it in my aggregate feed, where Kevin Smith, he had on what he called his stoner hoodie. It's basically one of those California Baja hoodies, you see folks wear. And they had it in a glass case, apparently, at the stash. And that's that's Kevin Smith and Jay Muse's comic book shop. And so they got it out. He says, a little dusty. He said, I couldn't believe I fit into this thing, from like 30 years ago. But that's what happened is he lost all that weight. He lost 50 pounds or whatever after his heart attack. And he could fit back into it. So that was kind of cool to see,
Yeah.
a little nostalgic there. And they were supposed to be there that day. So, no hearing Dante complain about, I'm not even supposed to be here that day. So snoogy boogies to them. And looking forward to when that trailer drops. That ought to be a riot. And then on the same note, like this is a good segue. Speaking of Jay and Silent Bob and Clerks and comics and that whole scene, I read a really cool article today in IO9 about a comic book called The Once and Future, which is a portion of the classic Once and Future King. Which is in reference to King Arthur. And this is apparently a modern day retelling of that. There seem to be a whole lot of those. One of the LGBTQIA books that I plugged a couple weeks ago.
I remember that.
Had that. Yep.
And there's the Green Knight recently.
Yep, the Green Knight. That's the Tales of Sir Gawain. So this comic book, it's by Boom Studios, and it's funny. It's another retelling of Arthurian tales where these really nasty British nationalists raise King Arthur from the dead, and he comes back as a demented spirit. So they're trying to utilize him. They're trying to use him, basically, to carry out their nefarious plans. And I think Arthur has plans of his own on his resurrection as a spirit. And then in the meantime, there's this granny who is a retired monster hunter. And so she enlists the aid of her grandson to go after Arthur and go after these nationalists and, basically like machine gun toting granny who goes after him. So it sounds pretty cool.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. It's a little interesting because there was part of that made me think of that series that was on, I think it was Amazon, called The Hunters. And it was about a group of Nazi hunters. It was a group of a bunch of Jewish people that came together, and they saw it as their life's mission to go after the Nazis. And apparently this was based on some real historical events that took place in the 1970s. So that was another really good series, too. It was Al Pacino and a whole bunch of other folks in there. And I think they only did one season. I wish they would have come out with a second season for that, because it was a good storyline. So that's pretty exciting. Those are pretty cool things that are happening. So, if you're a Clerks fan, if you're a Mallrats fan, a Kevin Smith fan, Silent Bob and Jay and Silent Bob. I know, I always say it the other way around, but check that out.
Totally.
Yeah. I didn't really... There wasn't a whole lot else that I took notes on this week, so it's going to be a whole lot of ad-libbing tonight. Yeah. So you better be on your A-game for ad-libbing. Speaking of ad-libbing, here's a good segue for you. I really like what you were telling me last night about the tank that you're going to be building, the Baneblade. You want to talk about that a little bit?
I very much do, because I am planning to work on it on stream a bit later on, so definitely want to talk about that. I have made, I'm not sure if you could call it a wise decision, but I have made a decision to buy a Baneblade for my Catachan army. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a bit of kit bashing with it, kind of mixing up, you get, I was showing you this last night, but you get 8 different variants of the tank in the box. So you get, whatever they're all called, the Baneblade, the Stormlord, the Bane Sword, the Hellhammer, the Bane this, Blade that, whatever.
And the variants are just basically like different loadouts, right?
Yeah,
different,
exactly.
Yeah, different. You can format it differently.
So yeah, I'm planning on doing a bit of kit bashing between those. Gonna be using the body of the Stormlord and the weapons of the Baneblade. Try to throw that together, get some of that on there. And I want to do that because of the firing deck that's on the back of it. So I was showing you this last night, but if you haven't seen it, it's a really big tank. It's about, I don't know, maybe that big?
It's probably over a foot.
No,
or at least a
perspective
foot.
just looks off on the stream. It's hard to show off without having a picture of it or something to compare it to. But
what, 12 to 14 inches probably total length.
I'm not good at
Like
estimating
bigger than a standard ruler.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'd say
okay.
so. It's supposed to be over 13 meters long in the lore, so
yeah. Wow, that's
makes
pretty
sense.
crazy.
Yeah. But it's got this firing deck on the back. So behind the main turret, because that's all the way up in the front on this variant, it's got an open area with 2 machine guns on it that you can put crew up on. So I'm going to get a box of the infantry, and I'm going to have some guys manning the machine guns, and have a couple guys standing and firing off the side of it. Some people with miscellaneous stuff like jerry cans and this and that, shells, all sorts of stuff. So
it's like a half track almost in the back, the way it's armored.
It is,
like a personnel, almost like a armored personnel carrier.
Yep.
And they got like effectively like what would be, well, whatever the Warhammer equivalent of like something bigger than 50 cal would be. So they got
I think they are just 50 cals.
They kind of look like 50 cals, but they look like they might be bigger because it's Warhammer, you know. But twin 50 cals mounted on the back.
The one that they have that's a step up from those in Warhammer is the autocannon. And those aren't autocannons, so I think those might just be 50 cals. They're heavy stubbers is what they're called.
Okay. Well, you're deeper into that lore than I am.
I am.
But if you don't know, if you're watching, you don't know what Warhammer 40K is, look it up online. It's if you want to go broke real fast, if you want to have a second and third mortgage, that's the game to get into. You got some great stuff, but holy shit, is it expensive. But the Baneblade is definitely going to be a really cool addition to your army. It's a massive piece of equipment, it'll take up a good chunk of the game table. So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see that build, especially after you were showing me the pictures of the different variants and the different paint schemes that people were using, along with some of the kit bashing to customize the stuff. And speaking of kit bashing, on the second segment tonight, we'll be broadcasting from the Workbench.
Yep.
So, hence the title, Tales and Fails from the Workbench. We'll be highlighting all the shit that we didn't get done this week that we wanted to. And so we punt and start working on other little projects in the meantime.
So I think they are just 50 cals. That's,
okay.
Jeez, dropping my phone here. That's what they look like.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
I think I'm going to have 3 of those in total, plus the main cannon and the secondary main cannon and the 2 las cannons.
You're going to paint
6 heavy bolters.
Canned heat on it on the sides?
Something like that, yeah.
Put some cool graffiti on there. You've got to.
I think I might save that for the smaller tanks. Because the Baneblade is supposed to be this, like, holy tank, effectively. It's like worship.
Like a holy relic?
Yeah.
Wow.
They can't make them anymore. The STC or whatever for them is broken, so it's like it's a limited amount that they have. No, it's they can make them, but it's very rare to make them. So this book I was reading by the same title.
Is that because most GW players can't afford them?
Probably, yeah. So this book.
What is one of those things running these days? You've got your own job. You can be honest. You don't have to tell me, like, because it's not my money you're spending.
I think it's
God.
Yeah, thank God indeed. So sad. Yeah, I have to buy my own stuff now. It sucks.
Welcome to the real world, son.
I think it's about. I'm honestly not sure.
Oh, you haven't ordered it yet?
Oh, no, I haven't ordered it yet.
Oh, I thought you ordered it.
No.
What are you slacking for?
I'll get paid tomorrow, that's what. It's gonna, I was actually gonna say we should head out to the GW store tomorrow so I can pick it up. I can talk to Vince, say, hey, special occasion, I'm getting a Baneblade. You know, what's the special occasion? I got paid.
You got paid. Special occasion. Every 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
The eagle,
it's like a little
eagle
holiday.
flies on Friday.
Let's see. Baneblade.
Well,
he's 140. So
about $140.
Cheaper than a knight.
Cheaper than a knight, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And that thing is nowhere near as big as the Baneblade. I don't believe so. I'm looking at it on the shelf, and based on the models, the pictures that you showed me,
it's definitely taller.
Well, taller, yeah, height-wise, but mass-wise, that Baneblade is pretty freaking awesome.
It is pretty fucking big. So
I like the the Sisters of Battle version of that we saw, it was like kitted up,
Yeah, that was really
all
cool.
Gothic cathedral like.
Have you seen the Sisters of Battle tanks? There's
No.
they have 3 tanks that are faction specific for them now, and they're really cool. They're all decked out in like there's a lot of fire on it. Luckily they're not on fire because I don't think they would work at that point. But there's what are they, braziers?
Braziers, yeah.
Yeah, big fire pots. There's all manner of flamethrower type weapons on there, and then one of them, and I can't remember what it's called, is I'd almost say cooler than the Baneblade. It is and I might be mixing 2 of them up, but one of them has an organ gun, not the real ones, but it's a rocket launcher, and
that
the rockets
has organ pipes.
Yeah, so the rockets get fired out of the organ
awesome.
pipes, and then
That's right up my alley.
oh
See,
yeah,
that's
and then one of them, and it might be the same one or it might be a different one, I can't remember, has a big stained glass window in the front of it.
Speaking of artillery, incoming.
Ooh, that's your worst one yet.
Yeah, it's this shoulder.
Yeah.
I got to keep working on my shoulder.
Yeah, excuses.
I can't do it on camera. All week though, while I'm sitting there doing editing and I'm doing other things, I'm hitting 100% baskets.
Oh, yeah.
And you sit here and you watch them every time. You're like, damn, I can't believe you made that shot. Even from my chair at the workbench, I turn around, whip right into the can. Yep. Here, I can't hit the basket to save my life.
It's weird.
In case you're wondering, we have a little mini fridge over off camera here, and we have a little garbage can next to it with a liner. And no shit, like all week long I can make baskets in that thing from across the room with these cans, but not on camera.
Yep.
Wasn't meant to be.
Such a shame.
That would be a funny thing to have, is the garbage can, and then just mount a little camera there and like throw cans at it. It's like every time we make one.
Do you one better? We could do that, but then get one of those like cheap basketball hoops with a net. See how many goals you can get.
Yeah, no, now you're pushing it. I don't know if I can make it through a net. I can make it in that because that
It'd be
opening's
about
pretty big.
no, it'd be about the size of that. I'm serious.
We could suction it to the side of the mini fridge.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Oh, suction?
Then
I was just gonna duct tape it.
No, we're not duct taping anything on that fridge. And then we could bounce them off the dungeon wall.
Yeah.
Into the basket. Rebound.
Yeah.
There you go. 2-point assist.
We already do that, so.
Oh, the shit we do when we're bored, eh?
Yep. But yeah, back to that Baneblade. Want to pick it up pretty soon, and I'm gonna get the tracks, I think, assembled off camera because it's just tracks.
Too fiddly.
Not too fit. Actually, those are probably one of the least fiddly parts of it. But it's just tracks, you know. Okay. Like all of the fun stuff that gets to be done on there comes in the upper parts because that's where all the detail is.
Yeah.
And that's where all that is. That's where I get to put all the extra minis, like the
individual
the
stowage and all the cool stuff. Yeah.
The tracks are just the same for every variant, so you basically put one side together, glue the other side on, glue that little front wheel on, and then boom, here's a section of track, here's a section, here's a section, here's a section. It's time consuming and it's boring and you have to do it twice. So
did you ever, I have to ask because you do such an excellent job on your kit patches, did you ever finish my Death Guard Rhino? Did you ever finish painting that?
Which one?
The one with which one? The one with the hot tub?
I didn't finish. Well, it's pretty close to being finished, but the hot tub part of it is finished, and I can't claim the invention of that idea either. I totally stole that from Lee.
It was creative redistribution of a fantastic idea.
Creative redistribution. That's it. Mm-hmm. Totally not plagiarism.
So Lee, if you're watching this at any point now or in the future, you are awesome. You rock, and that was a really really cool thing to do.
Yeah.
And hopefully you're not pissed off at Deacon for doing that because I asked him to do it.
I asked him when we were at the store.
Yeah. I know. It's all good. He's probably just happy that. What do they say? Imitation is the best form of flattery.
Yeah.
Right, Peter Lee? Oops, did I say that out loud? anyway,
I might
that
go and grab that in the intermission to show off on the
yeah,
stream.
that would be cool. And plus, like while it's on your workbench, if you wanted to paint it, I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh, it looks like
I'm not
I've
gonna complain.
already got a couple projects over there.
Oh, I can take care of that.
Mm.
I got a big arm. I can just sweep them right off there for you, clear them all out.
Mm.
I can make a whole lot of room for you.
Mm.
But that would be a good one to get once it's all done up.
Get some
pictures of that, put that on
yep.
Instagram, because that's cool as hell. It is really cool. It's basically it's a tank, and on the top of it, in lieu of a turret, he put a hot tub, and in the hot tub he's got three. Oh my God, their names just went right out of my head. Don't tell me. Nurglings.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
I was right there because I was thinking of the units
Yeah.
when I have the
Well,
units
that's
on the
what the units
bases.
are called,
Yeah,
too.
Nurglings.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 little Nurglings, which are these little like fat slobby goblin type of things from Papa Nurgle.
Little demons.
Yep, chaos demons.
Oh my God, the minis for them are so, for being like lesser demons of the chaos god of death and decay and disease and rot and pestilence. They are some of the cutest Warhammer minis I've seen.
They party like a mofo too.
They do, yeah.
That's who I want to hang out with. Like if I ever
Yeah.
get converted over to like Papa Nurgle.
Well, do you know what they're called? Because I mean the Chaos Marines are pretty respected because they're still Space Marines, even if they're corrupted. And that holds a lot of respect. But the demons are still held higher above them, even if it's tiny demons, because they're still closer to the Chaos Gods,
Isn't that Elton John song, Tiny Demons?
So, the Space Marines call them Little Lords.
Little Lords.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
that's awesome.
They are. Oh my God, the minis for them are awesome. I really want the. I think it's actually got a name now, and I think they for one of their April Fool's things they made a data sheet for it. The Sassy Nurgling. That's the one that's standing there. It's got its arms on its side. And
Does he have the helmet? Is that the one with the helmet?
That's the one with the helmet. Yeah.
The Sassy Marine. Yeah.
Sassy Nurgling.
Or Sassy Nurgling.
So.
Yeah.
There's all sorts, and then
I know I've said this before, but I have an affinity for goblins and for those nurglings. They just, I don't know why it took me so long in my life just to finally like bite the bullet and start collecting them again. Because I love running that kind of stuff in my fantasy RPG. Just plot a horde of them, and like people are like, oh, holy shit, where did all those come from? Like 50 goblins on the table or whatever, and you're like, oh my God, what do we do? It's all fun and games when you walk into a cave and it's like a half a dozen goblins, and you're like, I can cut through them like butter, and all of a sudden they start jumping off the ceilings and coming out of the doorways and coming up from hatches in the ground.
So, when we played D&D, not we, but when my group was playing on Fridays, which we still haven't gotten back to, and I don't know if we are going to get back to. But when we were playing, I was playing a warrior. I know, big shock, big surprise. I would never do that, but it was.
But the question is, was it a dwarven warrior?
It was not. It was a human.
Oh, now that
warrior.
is a big shock.
Yeah, I was actually switching it up a little bit too, because I was going for less of the bounty hunter type warrior, and to be entirely honest, I was just trying to have a Space Marine in D&D, but I was modeling it after an Ultramarine. So, big human. It was maxed out on the human's height scale at like 6'4". Very like, it was like 250 pounds, but you could say like, oh, it's all muscle or whatever. And he looked like an Ultramarine. He had the classic features or whatever. And one of those is the whole like tactician thing, because the Ultramarines are known for their affinity for like really planning things out and being really good with tactics and all that. So I had chosen these perks, these abilities under the warrior class that were like, I could, instead of my action being me, I could say my action is going to be ordering another party member to do whatever. So I could basically say, like, my action is going to be you attack. So if I'm not in range but somebody else is, I can sacrifice mine to let them attack. Or I had all this stuff like feint, F-E-I-N-T, not just passing out in the cave.
Not the delicate flower type.
Yeah. So I had feint, I had parry, I had all sorts of combat abilities that I could use. Some of them were pretty cool too. I could one of them was like fake strike or whatever, so I could effectively swing, and if they tried to dodge out of the way, then I like say I'm swinging this way. If they tried to dodge the other way and I just switch it up last minute,
Yeah, you feign a blow.
yeah,
You feign,
I get a +1 to hit them.
I totally get it.
And then some of the other ones were like roll 2 of your damage die and still add your normal bonus. So by the time that I was in combat, and I mean I got pretty good armor off the start because of my class. I started with chainmail at like AC 18 or whatever, so it was hard to hit me. And I was running around with a big ass sword and a shield. The shield gave me a +1. So what's up?
This is the let me tell you about my character segment.
Oh yeah, yep. So I would just run in there, and I mean, I'm not even kidding. I was running in there, 19 AC, nothing up until the first boss fight where we fought a flame skull, which wiped out the entire party pretty much. Nothing hit me, and I was doing, on average, like 2d10 plus 5 damage.
Just like Ghost Rider make a guest appearance in the.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna come wreck your party.
That was...
That threw you off.
Yeah, but also that fight was messed up because I think we were...
It's the Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
With the whole, I'm gonna come wreck your party.
So we were all about level 5 at that... not even. We were closer to like level 3 at that point, the whole party. And they kept saying, there's a locked door. I want to go in the locked door. I want to go in the locked door. What's behind there? And I was like, look, I don't think we should go in the locked door. It's locked for a reason. So we go in there, and there's a level 7 flame skull. And there's like 2 people that managed to go ahead of it because of initiative. And the flame skull had animated like 6 zombies. So they were kind of hacking away at the zombies. Flame skulls.
Are these from bodies that were already in the
Mm-hmm.
room?
Yep.
Okay.
So Flame Skull's turn, it does, like, it can do, just in one turn, because of how many actions it had, it could do a level 5 spell and, like, 2 level 3 spells, plus a cantrip. So it did, like, Fireball, or no, its level 5 spell was effectively, like, a laser beam of fire, and it did, like, 2 fireballs, and it did... like something to make us all have a harder time saving against it.
Oh Lord and baby Jeebus.
I'm not even kidding. It did, I think, 12d8 damage, something like that, in one turn. Half the party unconscious just from that.
This is what you get for provoking a flaming Nicolas Cage.
Yep. So we managed to get out of there though, and it was all because our druid was incredibly stupid, but also one of the smartest players I've met. So
I remember this story. This is one of the. This is probably one of the funniest uses of a polymorph that I can recall hearing. And like I've gamed a long time, and I've got some funny.
I don't think this
gaming stories.
I don't think this is quite the one you're thinking of, but it's in that same session. So
is this the worst?
It's one of the ones we got. So our druid had the ability to turn into animals, and it's not necessarily a polymorph. It was specifically it was only animals that he had interacted with before and that he knew about.
Sure, like animal form or animal shape.
Well, I think that is what it was called. Yeah, animal form. And the 2 that he kept transforming into were rats and horses, because we would have him turn into a rat and then run around the entire dungeon before we all went in there. And none of the bandits...
Oh, he's doing like recon,
yeah,
right?
Oh, yeah. And none of the bandits...
He's doing reconnaissance.
Yeah, exactly. None of the bandits were like, oh, a rat, let's roll initiative. So they were just like, rat, whatever.
Yeah.
So he was just running through. He wasn't aggravating any of the monsters, and he would map out like the whole dungeon for us.
That's brilliant.
There were a couple close calls because turns out a few of the creatures that live in caves do like to eat rats. So he had a bit of a scuffle with some ghouls and Nosk, I think it is, really creepy. But the other thing he would turn into is a horse, and he would do some crazy shit as the horse.
Oh my god.
Pretty much all of the party had gotten unconscious from that flame skull. There were, I think, 2 people who were left awake out of, I think, 5. So it was pretty bad. But one of the people who managed to live, luckily, was the druid. So his turn came around. He was top of the order, and he got down on his stomach. He started army crawling around the ground, lifting our bodies onto his back. And then once he had, like, 2 of our bodies just laying on his back, boom, transformed into a horse, and we all rose up on top of him, and he just trotted out of the room.
That's hilarious.
And I think the cleric carried the other body out, but
But that's not even the funniest one.
oh my god, yeah. So the fight.
Let me just do the setup.
Okay.
So you're an adventuring party, and you're in pretty dire straits, and you're going through your adventure, you're going through this dungeon, and you're in this room, and the room's not very big, maybe 15 by 15, maybe 15 by 20, and there's like what, 5 people in your party?
Yeah.
Adventurers, 5 adventurers, and maybe a half a dozen baddies.
No, 5.
5?
bad
Okay,
guys.
so 5 and 5.
5 bugbears.
So 5 bugbears. Oh, those are pretty sizable.
Oh, they are.
So 5 bugbears and 5 adventurers in this little room, 15 by 20, and it's pretty crowded as is.
Very crowded.
And then all of a sudden,
May I interrupt real quick? This is why we wanted to go to Cave of the Mountains and do a segment on why it's not feasible to fight in a cave. Because, let me tell you, you can't fit 5 adventurers, 5 bugbears, and like 3 zombies in a room. You can't fit them. There's no room. So, whole bunch of Boy Scouts, maybe. 5 bugbears, that's pushing it. So,
and even in corridors. But anyway,
Yeah.
so finish it. So that's the setup.
so yeah, setup. Like he said, 15 by whatever room, 5 adventurers, 5 adventurers, 5 bugbears, handful of zombies. Zombies, no big deal. Took them out like nothing. They're zombies, you know? The bugbears were the problem because they're bugbears. We struggled to kill one of them when we were just back a cave or 2, and 5 was pushing it. Now, for some more backstory that you didn't really touch on, I love the people in my party. They are great people. Wonderful to play with. They're a blast. But they do this thing where they will basically kick in a door with reckless abandon, fight whatever's in there, and then move on to the next room. They won't take a break in between. They won't rest. They won't kind of recover. They will just move right on to the next room.
Do they even search anything?
Oh, they do, but they don't take the time to heal up. So we had just come out of fighting like 5 or 6 ghouls, and the ghouls are pretty fucking nasty because of their claws. They're like, they get like a +3 or a +4 to hit with those, and they do poison damage if they hit you. And party was hurting pretty bad. So I was like, hey, there's a room back there that we've already cleared out, and we can rest in there. And they were like, I want to see what's behind that door. And this was the first of...
Cue the game show music.
Yep. This was the first of 2 locked doors. Now let me tell you, the room was like this. There was a locked door here, and there was a locked door here. So you basically open one, and you can see the other. Behind the first locked door, 5 bugbears, 3 zombies. We kill them, and I'll tell you how in a minute, because that is probably the best part of the story. But behind the second locked door, which they opened, let me tell you, immediately after, is where the flame skull and those zombies were. So, yeah. But, the way we killed them was we killed the zombies, and our druid said, I have an idea. You guys might want to make some room. So, we're all like, okay, what are you doing? Because you've had some ideas in the past, and they haven't exactly been good ones. So, we're in this tiny room, it's very cramped, and he decides to turn into a horse. Just in the middle of the room. Starts morphing into a horse, and we're all like, what the fuck are you doing?
6 feet high.
Yep.
6 feet long.
He transforms into this horse, and now we're like, okay, you've lost us. What's happening? Do you want to walk us through this? And what he decides to do, because that took up his action, that was his turn, cycled around, they went, whatever, it came back to him, and what he decided to do was run around the room until he got up to an enemy, till he got up to a bugbear, turn around, and then kick it with his 2 back hooves. And it was pretty fucking stupid, but goddamn it worked. And it did some pretty serious damage to him,
like,
too.
You have no clue how this hilarious is to me in my head. I can imagine this horse in there, full-size horse in this room, scooting all the way around, and then, like,
Yep.
just kicking both of its back legs. So, I was thinking about this, and what I thought we should do is... come Gamehole Con, or if we go to Cosmo Joe's Phoenix Con, is we need to get a horse costume. We need to get a 2-piece horse costume, and one of us needs to be a druid, and then have the ability to take animal form. And then when that happens, we pull the costume out of our backpack, get into it, and then they'll be like, "What in the holy fuck are they doing?" And it's like, we attack. Just kick your legs out. They would probably shit a brick. They would probably kick us out of there. We'd get kicked out, but oh my god, it'd be so hilarious. And if we could get somebody like Dante to come along and film, somebody who could play along and just act like they're part of the group, and then get a camera out and film it. Oh my god, that'd be comedy gold.
Great.
Be like some real life Borat shit right there. Great success.
Some real life Borat shit without all the
the stuff.
The stuff that we probably shouldn't mention on air. So
that would be something though. I mean, come on, how I mean, can you imagine? You'd be telling stories about that for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah. Have you seen the I just saw this on YouTube the other day, but have you seen I don't know if it's a trailer, it's a promotional video for Borat 2, and he went to
a subsequent picture film or whatever it is.
No, I think it was just for the first movie, but he went to Australia, and he was getting interviewed in Australia about it, and they were talking to him, and I'll tell you about it during the intermission because I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it here, but it was crazy. So yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a whole lot in that just can't be repeated.
Yeah.
Like, it could, but we'd lose the channel so fast.
Oh yeah, the channel would be gone. Just blink of an eye. That's like a Black Dragon Tavern gets canceled speed run.
Yeah, exactly. We could take bets on that.
Yep.
Yeah. How fast can we get the channel canned?
There we go.
From Twitch and a whole bunch of other folks.
Oh yeah.
Too funny. You haven't seen that though. You haven't seen the second one, have you?
Subsequent picture film?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Yeah.
We should watch that sometime.
Yeah. You gotta see that. You gotta see Bruno. And I can't remember the other one where he plays a mock dictator.
That sounds like a riot.
Yeah, it is. It's not as good as the other ones, but yeah. Well, we're coming up on about it's about 20 till, so I guess we'll plug along for another 5 minutes or so, and then what we'll do is we'll take a little intermission like we do every week. We'll take a 15-minute break. We'll put y'all on hold. We don't have any music. We don't have any hold music, fortunately. And then when we come back, we will be broadcasting from the Workbench.
Yeah.
And am I imagining things? I'm looking at my camera. Did my camera get knocked over there?
I can't really tell.
Weird angle.
I think that's just where it's been.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah. I'll check it for the break, or check it while we're on the break.
Shame Chris isn't in the call or in the channel. But he'd be willing to give us some hold music while we're on the intermission.
We have the Chris cam.
Yeah.
He'd probably be dancing around and stuff. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. That I wonder what we could
Chris
do.
Cam, he couldn't actually have music playing. He could, but he'd have to have it muted so that it doesn't get taken down. But he'd just have to say, "I'm listening to New Order right now." He can't tell.
Yep. I wonder. That makes me want to look into more of the streaming music that's available through people like Harris Heller.
Yeah. For sure.
you know, like I know they're calling it copyright free, but I can't bring myself to
It's
say that
royalty
because
free.
yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't make you pay royalties for it, and you can use it free of worry. But see, that's the problem. I can't. Call me paranoid. I can't be free of worry. Like I'd be worried that we would have it on there and we'd upload it to YouTube, and then we get a DMCA. You know.
I think it's available on YouTube too under what is it, like Creative Commons? Creative Commons is YouTube's effective version of that. It's do you know what?
I do. Yeah. I mean, you know, that's part of like what I did in my last job was being
Yeah.
a compliance officer. So I have to know about all sorts of policies, privacy policies, GDPR, CCPA, you name it. Um, and I probably know about it because I had to make sure that all the websites were compliant. Anyway, point being, it would be great to be able to use some music and not have to worry about it because I honestly I miss music when we're at the workbench.
Yeah,
It
that
helps.
is
It helps
that
the
is one of the downsides to streaming.
yeah. It helps me focus so much more on like when I'm painting or building or whatever, and I don't get so focused and tripped up on like filling the gap with talking and all that. Not
Yeah.
that I mind that, but you know, it is like it's a very quiet, very peaceful sort of thing to do when you're
Oh
doing a
yeah,
hobby
yeah,
on a
it's very
bench.
relaxing.
It's very meditative, you know.
You know what I
And
put on earlier? That I was down here painting earlier, and I had some of the Bob Ross videos playing in the background because I follow
oh,
him on
nice.
Twitch,
Yeah.
and they'll live stream his videos. So it's a live stream. It's just on Twitch. They have all the rights. God, I can't talk today. Licenses and rights for it,
Hmm.
but they'll just stream the video. So I had some of those playing, and you know, it's Bob Ross. He was talking about like, just gonna paint a nice little tree over here. This tree needs a little friend. Why
Did
don't
you
we...
wind up painting it on your tank?
No,
'Cause
I
that'd be
didn't.
hilarious.
That would be hilarious. But
You're like,
he was
what
talking
the?
about
How did I wind up with a?
yeah. He's talking about this tree needs a little friend. Why don't we give it a little friend? And I was thinking about, I was painting. I was like, my tank needs a little friend. So
My tank
I got
needs a
out
little friend.
I got out both my tanks and both my sentinels, little friends for each of them. So
Aw. That explains why there's so much stuff going on the
Yeah.
workbench.
but it was just being
Mobile
able to,
artillery.
yeah, just being able to play stuff like that without having to worry about like, you know, getting a cease and desist and a copyright takedown and a DMCA strike and all of that. It's really nice. It's really
I
relaxing.
hear you.
So
Well, you know, I mean, maybe I'll take Harris Heller up on his offer. He did say in one of his streams, you know, if you have questions, reach out to me. I'll do my best to answer them. I know the guy's probably swamped like billions
Oh, yeah.
of, but I think I have a knack for that type of stuff, getting through to people, especially like celebrities and whatnot. I used to. I think maybe you're a little bit like that too. You get a little embarrassed because I'm outgoing. I don't care. I'll take the risk. And I think I had friends that were like that too growing up. They're like, "F, what are you doing? What are you doing?" You know, I'm gonna go see if I can meet this person. I'm gonna go see if I can get an autograph. I'm gonna go see if we can go backstage. I'm gonna
I'm gonna go see
because
if Matthew Willard has our die.
I'm about to slap you. Anyway, yep. Yeah, but you know, point being is like, it's something my dad told me. Like, you never know until you try, and all they can say is no, right?
All
Like,
they
you
can
can
say
ask,
is no, or
and they
all
can-
they can say is security, get this guy away. So,
Stalker.
yeah.
I get tackled. Yeah, but you know, I mean, like, I think a lot of celebs expect that. The thing is like, I'm the like anti fanboy. Like, I'll see somebody like, okay, so we're hitting quarter till right now, but I want to tell the story real quick. This is hilarious. So back when I was young and single and clubbing, and my friends and I used to go out in force.
Oh,
We'd have like a
here
half
we
dozen
go.
of us. We went to a club in Detroit called The Shelter, and it was in the basement of St. Andrew's Hall, and you would love St. Andrew's Hall. And it was a meeting hall for this coalition of Scottish bagpipers and firemen, and they would all meet there.
That is a weird
And
combination.
and on the main floor when you walked in, which was actually up a set of stairs, so it was elevated off the street, the first floor. You'd go up a set of stone stairs, and you'd go in, and right when you walked in, it was a big auditorium, big dance floor, and they had a balcony up above, and they had a bar down below. They may have had a bar upstairs, but then right across from the entrance was a stage. So you could see concerts there, and I got to see Red Hot Chili Peppers. I got to see Modern English. I got to see the. I got to see
awesome.
so many bands there, and this is before a lot of these bands really made it big, or right when they were on the threshold of making it big. So you could walk right up to the stage, shake hands with them, and meet them after the concert and all. I mean, it was like super cool, super chill. Everybody was.
Like it, yeah.
And then, so in the basement, they had a club. It was a alternative punk club, new wave, and all that, called the Shelter. And they eventually opened up a hip hop club on the third floor. So then they changed the whole. They marketed the whole thing as 3 floors of fun, because you would have concerts in middle, DJ music at the bottom, and DJ music at the top, and it was super cool. And I forgot the whole reason I was bringing up this story.
Talking to celebrities.
Basically, so one day we're at the Shelter, and I'm there with a friend of mine, Jude. And Jude hadn't been to the Shelter very much, so I'm kind of showing around, introducing the people. And we're kicking back, and we're leaning against this bar, and we're just sipping away at our drinks. And this whole crowd of women just comes like this. They just like immediately swarm together, right? And I'm drinking, and I kind of look over, and I do a double take, and I kind of keep drinking my drink, and Jude's sitting next to me, standing actually, and he's like, "Hey, F, what's going on over there?" And I go, "Oh, it's Tom Cruise." And he goes, "Get the fuck out," and he's laughing.
I remember this,
and I'm just like finished, drinking my drink, and he goes, "No, seriously, like, what are they all like crowding around? Who are they all crowding around?" I go, "It's Tom Cruise." And he goes, "For real?" I go, "Yeah, come on, let's go meet him." He's like, "No, really, you think we can?" I go, "Yeah, of course." So I walk over there, right? I'm Mr. Big Shit. I'm like nobody, right? I'm just another dude in the bar, right?
Doing the Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I'm doing the Assassin's Creed, like I guiding people out of the way and walk up. And he's talking, and Jude's like, in the background, spazzing out. He's like, "Holy shit, it's Tom Cruise! Oh my god!" So it's like, it's like, you could see the little thought bubbles bursting above his head, like, Butthead, right, or Beavis, and so I go, "Come on!" I go, let's go shake his hand," and Jude's just like, I can't, and he's stuttering, and I go, "It's all cool, man." So there's Tom Cruise, and he's short, by the way. He's like he's maybe an inch taller than me. I'm short. I'm pretty freaking short. I'm like 5'5". Tom Cruise is like maybe 5'6". And here he is signing autographs and talking to all his, people that are like, just gushing over him. And all of a sudden he just goes, he looks up and he looks right at me. Because I'm just standing there like drinking my drink. And he looks right up. And I go, "Hi, I'm Ephraim." And I stick my hand out and he goes, "I'm Tom." And he shakes my hand. I go, "Nice to meet you." I said, "Enjoy your stay in Detroit." He's like, "Thanks, I'll do that." And he's got that smile, and he's pretty good looking guy. He's an attractive guy, and Jude is just sitting here like, and I go, "Come on, Jude, let's go." So I like to hit him on the shoulder to like snap him out of it. Walk back, and I go get another drink, and he's like, "Dude, that was Tom Cruise," and I go, "Yeah, it was Tom Cruise." So I don't fanboy over people. I don't. Yeah. I that's not my thing. But it's hilarious because like my best friends, my brothers from another mother, Vince and Sam, Sam's whole thing was when he met people, everybody has their thing. Like your thing is your thing. It's like when you meet somebody, you have a thing that you do, like, you shake their hand a certain way, or you have something you say to every celebrity you meet or whatever, right? Sam's thing was he'd step on their foot. Now, he's like, I don't know, 6 feet something.
Damn.
Size 13, 14 boot.
Okay, wow.
And he loves to dance, right? So he's out on the dance floor. And he did this to like, who was it? Leni Lovich, Barry, his name is escaping me. He was the lead singer for Shriekback. And who was the one you probably wouldn't know her? She did 99 Lift Balloons.
Oh, I know the song.
Yeah. I'm not going to hum it, but like...
I can't
her name's right on the tip of my tongue. Stepped on all other feet,
Yeah.
And he thought it was the funniest fucking thing. He was like, "Hey, guess who I met?" I'm like, "Who?" And he's like, "I met the lead singer for Shriekback." I go, "Sweet, how'd that go?" He goes, well, I crushed his foot because I didn't mean to, and then so that started the trend. Like from then on, like
Yep.
I think he was doing it on purpose, but it was
It's a
hilarious.
good way to meet people. Crunch. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry
yeah,
about that. My name is,
yeah. But
So,
Detroit was like that. Detroit was kind of cool because like you could go around downtown, around the Motown area, around Greektown, Corktown, Bricktown. You could go to all these places and you'd see celebrities there, and they're just out hanging out. Like,
yeah, it's a big city.
another funny story. Like, we can pivot over after this is
Go
oh god,
again.
here we go again.
Doesn't end.
So me and my boys were
Once
out
it
one
started, it
time,
doesn't
and
end.
there were like four of us, and we were all clad in leather, and we're big hair, big mohawks, and the Aquanet hairspray, crazy hairspray, Robert Smith the Cure kind of a look, leather jackets, handcuffs hanging off them, the whole thing, right? Totally punk. And we're walking around, and we're nobody. We had a little high school band, we weren't famous. And then across the street from us, right at the same block, so like this, like directly across,
Is this the
this
movie?
band, this
Oh,
R&B band called oh my god, they went right out of my head too. It's not Boys to Men. Uh oh, they were really big back then. They dressed like Morris Day in the Time. They all had zoot suits, and it wasn't Morris Day in the Time, although I did meet them. That's a whole
that's
other
cool.
story. Um Ready for the World. I knew it. I knew it would come to me. So if you're out there and you're listening to this story, you're cracking up or whatever, or if you're just rolling your eyes, go look up Ready for the World. So here they were across the street, right? And they're all like doing the, fixing up the tie, kind of like Morris Day style, and they're fixing their jackets. And, there's this crowd of young females coming down the street, young women, I shouldn't say female, I'm sorry. Young women coming down the street. And we were, young and dumb and single. And here we're just standing on the corner, and they all flock to us. And they're like, "Are you guys in a band? Are you guys like, you guys look so cool?" And they were across the street, and they were pissed off. And they were like, "Hey, hey, come over here, come over here. We're actually a band.
Yeah.
And it was like, so we had this
Yep.
like crowd around us. It was just hilarious. Just weird shit that happens to you,
Yeah.
and you remember these stories because they're pretty funny.
Speak.
Sometimes life is stranger than fiction,
Yeah. Speaking of clubs, though, I was watching this music video earlier and listening to your story. I really want to rewatch Blade.
Oh
Blade,
yeah,
yeah.
were you watching the Blood Rave?
Yep.
Yeah,
Just the
with New
whole
Order
movie. But
Pump House Panel remix of Confusion.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wanna show you part of this music video later on. It's kind of cheesy, but rewatching or watching that music video and listening to your story, I was like, I think it's time. I'm gonna rewatch Blade soon. I think
I
it's about that time.
Yeah, you're old enough now. I gotta take. You should go to a rave. I was gonna say I gotta take you to a rave. I took you to a rave
What about
once.
the one at
The all ages at KeyCon.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you were having fun. I got video of you over there dancing on the side of the
yeah,
floor.
it was fun.
Yeah, I miss dancing though. But now you got your buddies that you hang out with. You got friends who drive. You should get somebody to take you guys
A
out.
friend who drives. Yeah.
Well, you have a couple, but. All right. Well, what do you say? Should we move over
Yeah,
to the
it's about
workbench?
8:55. So yeah, it's hit an intermission.
All right. Hold
and
up.
then...
Before you do that, just want to so we don't just cut
Oh,
everybody
what?
off.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a little break here. We're gonna take a 15-minute break. We'll throw up a slide and a timer, and hopefully you'll stick around and watch us when we broadcast from the workbench. We'll see you then.
Check us out.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Black Dragon Tavern. I'm your host, Dante.
We forgot to move the mic. Knew we forgot something.
Boy, it's like we're getting worse at this.
Yeah.
Bring it around this side, and then I'll put it here so it's between us. There we go.
All right, let's run that back.
Let's try that one more time. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Black Dragon Tavern. I'm your host, Dante.
I'm your host, Deacon. We have our mic here now.
Sorry about that little snafu. It's like we keep getting worse at this for some reason. You're supposed to get better at streaming, but we were so excited during the break. We were just chatting about all kinds of crazy stuff and some things that we can't really bring up online because they're a little controversial. Yeah, but and in doing so, we forgot to move the mic. So mea culpa. You know, I'll take the blame for that. But anyway, we're back, and we're glad to be here, and thank you for sticking around if you're watching. We're going to be working on some cool stuff tonight.
What do you have on?
My big, so this, my big fail from the Workbench, which, ties into the whole title of the episode tonight, is I finally, after weeks and weeks, got my Fawn Band assembled. Like I said, I only wanted to do 6 to get going here. I got the can of spray paint today, but it was too late. Day late, dollar short. It was raining, and I couldn't paint it, so that was a fail. I was really hoping to get started on painting these tonight. But, that's what happens sometimes. But, maybe I'll snap some pictures of them in different stages and put them up on the Instagram. So in the meantime, I've got some other stuff that I'm going to work on. I've got a Spellcrow miniature here of a little hobgoblin, and I love this figure because it reminds me a lot. And you probably can't see that in the camera very well, but it's really reminiscent of the old Kev Adams or Bob Ollie sculpts from the 90s, the goblins and whatnot. He's got the big gnarly face and the big nose and the big teeth. That's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to getting that assembled. And then, I was kind of inspired by your whole basing idea of doing, the body parts and all that. And we found this, who makes this, by the way? They've got a label, Secret Weapon Miniatures.
Oh, yeah, I know them.
So it's a little pack, if you can see that. It's a little pack of body parts. So I'm going to paint these up, and I'll use them in my fantasy RPG. And despite Delta variant, I think, because all of our friends are vaccinated, I think I might actually spin that back up.
It's cool.
I got to see how people feel about it.
Yeah.
I do have a couple new people that asked if they could be invited, so we may have a couple new players.
So this probably isn't the most fun topic for a stream, I know, but speaking of the Delta variant, have you heard of the Lambda variant?
No.
There's another one now. It's called the Lambda variant.
Oh joy, are they going to have the Alpha and the Omega next?
So, it's good news and bad news. The bad news is apparently it's like Delta plus plus.
Huh.
So it's even if you are vaccinated, you're at a bit more of a risk for that. But the good news, if you can call it that, I guess, is the only cases so far have been in South America and like a couple cases in Texas. Although, seeing as it's in Texas, that's probably bad news because, you know how they are down there.
Yeah, I think they got issues with their governor, still not mandating masks for schools and whatnot. Yeah. But let's not get harp on that and get into that whole thing. Just, you got to take care of yourself because at the end of the day, that's really the only person that's going to be ultimately responsible for taking care of you is you. Mm-hmm. So, all right, what are you working on? So you in lieu of the Baneblade, you working on more Catachan stuff?
Yep. Trying to position this light right. I am working on more Catachan stuff. In fact, I've got a couple things I'm working on. I've got, this is probably in range here. I've got Sly Marbo. God, it's that desync to the camera is killing me. But I've got Slime Marbo, who I bought months and months and months ago and primed and then never touched. Um, I finally started working on him today. I've got I've got the Lehman Russ tank that I was working on a while ago, and then
That's coming along nicely.
yeah, and then the Lehman Russ that I was actually working on assembling last stream, last Workbench stream.
Yeah,
that
you
is.
got a lot done.
So
Excuse me, a lot done on that.
I did. I'll try to like show it off a bit for the camera here.
What are the little AT walkers down there? What are those called
Hold on,
again?
I'll show you that in a second here. Yeah. So, oh, jeez. The sponsons for this finally came in, shipped from France, which took quite a while, and they're here though, and I finally got some paint on there. Then I've got two Sentinels, Scout Sentinels that I'm working on. Got one
Super
that's
cool.
in more of a dynamic pose because it's the second one I assembled, and I've got the first one I assembled, which is very bland. So
Still, it'll look good on the tabletop when you're
yeah.
done basing it, because you always do a phenomenal job on that. You know,
basing is the best part of it. That's where all like the story of it comes from. That's where you get to show
Sure.
off like where they are.
all the blood and guts and body
I think
parts.
I've finally decided on a basing scheme for my Black Templars as well, because I have been going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth about that, trying to figure out what to do with them. And I think I figured out what I'm going to do.
What's that?
I am going to do kind of I'm going to do this like Sterling Battlemire, but instead of just like putting it on super thick like that, I'm just going to do bits of like mud and all that. I'm going to put some tufts on there, some of the greener ones, and then I'm going to do a bit of a snowy effect over it.
Oh, that's cool.
And make it look kind of like...
Are you going to do the baking soda and PVC mix?
I could. The baking soda and PVC mix?
The white glue and baking soda. There's a way you can make a formula that you can brush that stuff on, and it looks like snow caps and stuff.
I haven't seen that before. So I'll have to look that up and check it out. But something like that, yeah. I have been debating, though, the one thing about that is, do I want to add effects on the top of the minis? Like, do I want to make it look like there's snow on them? And I think I've decided against that, because, you know, they're Black Templars. They're, like, charging into battle, and they're going really fast. And, you know, snow wouldn't really be falling on them. It would be, like, it would get blown off, or they'd just be running through it, you know?
Sure,
So-
but it's fantasy, and it's the effect that you're going for, not so much the realism of it, right?
I know, but the effect is hard to get right, and I don't want to mess them up. So,
Got it.
let me get working on this guy, because
Should have used my scissors for that.
probably should have, yeah.
Ruined my good Zacto blades that way. Anyway, another blister pack for Flock. And if you happen to stumble upon the stream and you're wondering what I'm doing here, if you're not a painter or not a hobbyist, these little blister packs that miniatures come in, you save the plastic here, and they make great trays for putting flocking on here for your bases, you know, whether it's like static grass or sand or pebbles or whatever you're using to put down there. I'm like a pack rat, I have to keep everything. That's something recycled. Alright, let's see, what do we have here? Well, there's some pretty cool little minis in there. Little jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah. So, what is yours?
So this is it's called a horned hobgoblin.
Okay. I was going to say they have a hobgoblin mage in there, which is kind of cool.
Alright, I need the big guns for this.
Ah, dude. I am running out of paint. I'm gonna have to get some new pots soon.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, but it's like all of the colors that I'm starting to need, you know?
So, do you remember Pulp Fiction?
Yeah. Oh, of course. How could I forget it?
Bring Out the Gimp?
Mm-hmm.
This is like meta. It's the Gimp with a belt buckle of the Gimp. This guy's cool. I don't know how to put these horns on him, though.
Carefully.
Oh, I guess maybe that's how they go. Although, that's going to take a little bit of shaving down. That's a suck. Nice thing about working in resin and plastic, though, it's so easy to control.
Yeah, much easier than metal, for sure.
Stuff like this, like where you have to shave it down and. You could do it with metal, it just takes a little more finesse. You have to solve the riddle of steel. These I really should pin. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. That seems a little too fiddly.
I wonder if I could do that with a wash.
What's that?
Trying to figure out how to like paint this guy's mouth. Maybe you're too heavy on that. That's not bad. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright. Talking about tails and fills from the workbench. Nearly just spilled all of my Nuln oil.
Oh, you're one of those people?
Nearly spilled it.
Well, I gotcha.
There was I saw a 3D printed thing that's like it's a little pot holder. So check this out. It's got two parts to it. There's like a little square base, and there's a hole in the square base, and there's a thing on top of it that looks like the hangman.
Do you have my drill bits?
I do. And the drill. It's just using it.
Thanks.
Yep. So check this out. It's a little Citadel paint pot holder, and the way it works is like this. Put your powder paint in like this, okay?
Okay.
And then you open it up, and there's a little, it's like one of those hangman sticks, you know, in the game.
Yeah.
And you put it over, and it just sits like that, and it holds it in place. Holds the lid in place, and it has like a big base so that it doesn't get knocked over. It's pretty cool.
Sounds pretty neat.
Oh, where did that come from? Huh. Must be a sign. No clue where it came from. Purity seal just fell onto my thing. How funny. Alright, where is the regiment?
Dude, what kind of nasty shite did you get all up in this drill bit here? What were you drilling?
I can't remember.
That's tiny.
Too tiny? Or too big? What? What the fuck am I trying to say? Did you need a tiny drill bit for that? Or like...
I had to go smaller than what you had in there.
Ah. Not surprising. The one I had in there wasn't super small. I was using it to drill barrels, so... Whew. There he goes.
This makes me think of,
There's
oh,
another.
that should be good.
There's another fail from the workbench. Drop the model I was working on.
Plenty deep. When we were at lunch the other day, when we went to Paraj's birthday lunch, and we were talking with Jim about the person who was not a gamer, but they were into sports. And I said, Blood Bowl.
Yeah. Yep.
Turn them on the Blood Bowl. Oh, that's going to be off center. Balls. Maybe I can do it this way. Set the pilot hole. Yeah, there we go. That should be good enough. I'll tell you, this is, in my opinion, this is the best drill bit set ever.
It is pretty good.
I got this like when you were a little kid when we went to the train show here in Madison at the Alliant Energy Center, or Alliant, whatever it's called, Coliseum.
I think that.
Do you want
one
that drill
was
bit
the-
back in here? Are you going to be using this tonight?
I'm not tonight, but.
Okay, I'm going to put it back in
Can you
there.
remind me which one it is? All right. Can you at least tell me
Where I
what
put it
spot?
back?
Yeah.
Well, I'll try. Quite frankly, these are all screwed up anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, if I know which spot it's in, you know.
I'm gonna say in spot 68.
68. Okay.
Yeah, it fits in there, and it's just easy because it's open. All right. Oh, that was really dumb of me. I didn't drill the horns.
Ah, that's. Yeah. Good job.
That's not the one. That's the one.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna break out some of that Tesseract Glow, that like really vibrant paint that I have.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna use some of that on this guy. He's got an envenomed blade. So I figured that might be a good way to get some, venom effect on there.
Yeah, sure.
That, or I could do some Nurgle's Rot.
These seem to fit this way. Okay. So, if we go in on that angle. Go this way. I love doing this shit because,
Pinning?
especially like towards the end of the work week, it's nice and relaxing.
Oh, just workbench stuff in general?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you've known long enough now, like, I have my phases where I get burned out on it.
Yeah.
I think you do too sometimes, and you gotta step
Yeah.
back a little bit, and
Oh,
that's
for
okay.
sure. And that's actually why I started multiple armies. Because at a point, it's like, this is great, but I've painted so much of the same color scheme,
Right.
So, painting up a different army, even if it's still Space Marines, just a different flavor of Space Marines, still different, and it really is like, huh, yeah, this is fun.
What do they taste like?
Rage.
Rage. What are they raging against?
The machine.
What machine is that?
The orc machines.
The Boondocka Schnazwagon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, balls. This is gonna be another
Where?
one of those.
Oh, there's a fucking hair on here.
Got mini tweezers.
Yep. And it's gone. Oh, I fucking knew I forgot to do something. Alright, breaking the brush back out.
Okay. Let's hope this works.
So what are you using to pin it? Bit of a paper clip?
No, it's a little piece of wire that I have that's thinner than a paper clip. But it's not that, what was that stuff, like Christmas ornament wire or whatever
Yeah,
it was?
the green stuff?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Floral wire.
Floral wire, thank you. It's not that. But it's about that thin. It's much sturdier.
Yeah. So, take a look at... Ooh, ow, my leg. Take a look at this guy when you have a minute. I'll set him here.
Oh, it's so nice to have my own glue. Hey, I could like a kit bash a whole thing right there.
Yeah. Oh, you're gluing them like that?
Oh, and then on the snip them, and then
yeah.
Don't panic.
I was gonna say that's a weird way of doing it. You like
Seasoned pro here.
So that is Sergeant Harker, the actual official name.
He's got a mohawk. Nice.
Yeah. A lot of them have mohawks actually. Anyways, he's the guy that I was telling you about who killed a Tyranid Ravager by suffocating it between his biceps.
his very large biceps.
Yeah.
So do you know the whole dip method of painting?
Where you like dunk it into shade?
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's old school. That's how they used to do it on oh, I can see a little bit of metal on the handle.
Yeah, I've still got some stuff to do.
Anyway, you put your base coat, your base colors on, and then basically you take the whole thing with a pair of pliers by the base, and you right in there, and then you pull it out and you shake it off a little bit and flip it over and let it dry.
I can't stand that though. Because,
I've seen some really nice paint jobs on that. Now, okay, I'm going to do that thing that you hate. But
yeah.
because I have my super goggles on, I can see all the little silver bits.
No.
And the unpainted bits. I'm just, it's because I care. What is he stepping on?
GW? It's probably part of his fucking base. It's a slaughter mini.
Yeah, I know, but what is that he's stepping on?
Part of his base.
What?
Oh, let me see.
No, it looks like it's sculpted. Like,
let me see. Cause
are they bullet? Oh, they might be bullet casings.
Yeah. Yep. I'm
Sweet.
keeping that over here now. But yeah, like this guy that I'm working on now, Sly Marbo, I have used 4 different shades on him alone.
You're starting to sound like a romance novel. 50 Shades of Camo. For redneck love romance.
Oh God, that sounds awful. Is that going to be our first item when we start selling merch?
On our Twitch channel. Yeah, if I ever sold paints... Oh, look at that. If I ever sold paints, I would totally do one called 50 Shades of Camo. Now, the one thing, I will reserve judgment until I actually get this model off of this base, off of this sprue. But the one thing that I have not had luck with a lot of these resin cast models like this that have slotted bases, is the base on the Mini is too thick to fit into the actual slotted base. So there's lots of shaving and sanding and waxing and vajazzling and all the other stuff.
Luckily, a lot of the minis that I have are not resin because, I'll be honest, I don't really like resin minis.
This is, I'll when I'm done with this, I'll show it to you so you can get a close-up look. But I like this. This is a good sculpt. And like I said, it made me happy when I saw it. I was like, this is going to be fun to work on.
No, it's a cool sculpt. I saw it in the box, but I'm just, as a material, I'm not a fan of resin minis. I find it too annoying to work with. It's like, I'm spoiled. All the first minis that I started working on, those are plastic.
This is true.
And, I really like kit bashing. That's like one of my favorite parts. For some stupid reason, I like assembling minis almost as much as I like painting them. And part of that is like the customization that's in a lot of these kits now, and really being able to like take a squad of dudes and make them look like, a squad that I made.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
That is some pretty fucking
To a certain degree, you can have an entire army, and they don't have to look like identical clone stamps that were, punched out or stamped or whatever. They can each have a little bit of character to them.
Yeah, totally. And
oh, no, okay, now he fits in there, or it fits in there. But question is, yeah, I guess I do like that angle. Okay. What were you gonna say?
I can't fucking remember.
You said butt. Yeah. You're about to show your big butt.
Yeah, but resin minis, that's what I was gonna say, don't have the same, like, You know,
No.
at least the resin minis that I've worked with haven't had the same
They
level
haven't
of...
had the same je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
No, I don't. What they don't have the same what?
The same level of customizability, I guess.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on the manufacturer. There was a French company, speaking of je ne sais quoi, there was a French company called Fenril, and they made some fabulous, I glued my finger, fabulous resin minis. And they had lots of choices, weapons and poses and arms and, yeah, that's not working so much.
Can you hand me one of your paints, please?
Yeah, give me just a minute. Let me try to get this bastard glued in here.
Sure thing.
This inglorious bastard.
They made minis of those. Well,
Get out,
not
really?
official ones. It's like unglorified people born out of wedlock or whatever the fuck the mini set is called.
That sounds like the guy who's
But,
doing the 3D prints of all the different, like...
It is. It probably is.
He does, like, he did Cheech and Chong, but they were called, like...
I don't know.
Instead of Tommy Chong, he called it Timmy. Or something like that. And then I can't remember what Cheech Marin's name was. Okay. Hopefully that'll hold. Got enough glue on there. What paint did you need?
It's called hemp rope.
Oh, you bastard. You're using my hemp rope?
I used it on one mini.
That's a good color.
It is. You know what I found it surprisingly good for?
Here it is.
I shook it up earlier because I used it.
Yeah. Is this yours or is this mine?
That is mine.
Okay.
You know what I found it to be surprisingly good for?
I gotta keep my stuff like under lock and key, otherwise it like migrates to his side of the bench.
I have no clue what you're talking about. It is really good for hair. So I did that guy's hair with it.
So this is what you've been dyeing your hair with?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well I don't know, This every time you hand this thing, it's looking better and better.
Yeah, that's because I've been working on it every time I hand you it.
I love the glow on the cigarette. That's super cool.
I finally bought my own.
But you need to use some OSL on there.
So I finally bought my own. I finally bought my own orange paint because I can't stand yours. That's how you deter me from using yours. Is you just use shitty paints that I don't like.
Let's open the jars and piss in them so you don't take them. Oh, that's not good.
Here we go. All I needed was one drop of that.
So look at this. I have a rock and roll mini. It's because the base has to be.
That's awesome.
It's too long for the. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Sticks out too much. But look, the nice thing is, look at this. Look how easy it is to fix.
Yeah.
They come off nice, big, clean shaves. Like it's almost like cutting into Parmesan cheese.
But
so easy to do. I don't know. I haven't tasted it. I can tell you in about 5 minutes. Well, this does have cyanoacrylate in it, so from the super glue. Maybe a quick trip to the ER. Poison control call.
Fucking eyebrows on this dude.
There we go. Ah, get off my finger. Okay.
Is your hemp rope back?
Thanks.
All I needed was a single drop.
Okay.
So I forgot to paint the eyebrows on this guy earlier. So.
Okay.
Where is the psycho? It is time to break that out. I will actually use not that brush. Insane detail. There we go.
About that much.
Kislev flesh.
Yeah, that's gonna be so cool. Okay. This really does sometimes now, more than in the beginning, make me wish that we did have like really super close up cams.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
there's the cost, and then there's the setup. You know, we look at the lesson we learned with the cams we have now. We got 3 cameras. They've got to go directly into the USB ports on the laptop for the stream, and if you put them in the hub, they don't work. Too much USB interference. Oh, this guy's gonna be so cool. It's a hobgoblin. I have a couple more that are like a couple of rogue hobgoblins. Not rogue as in like thieves, but
rogue is in like a single.
yeah, like just really cool
Individual
one-offs that I acquired over the years. It'd be cool to have a little warband to them. Speaking of hobgoblin, that's the. Do you remember when we went to that brewery?
Yes. Speaking.
Oh, I was in absolute heaven.
Yeah, I remember that.
So delighted to actually have several pints pulled right from the source where they brew hobgoblin beer in the UK.
Oh, when I smell Lauren Forest. I love this color so much.
Did I just hear a Scottish brogue?
Yes. In fact, you did. Don't know what a brogue is, but yeah, sure.
It's the accent.
Ah.
It's a Braubrek Moonlight Nick.
Don't know what you just said, but good for you.
Braubrek Moonlight Nick. It's a broad, bright moonlit night. It's a Braubrek Moonlight Nick. Okay. Choices.
So the question here is, how much...
This is going to require another penning.
How heavy do I go on the highlighting for the orc head that he is standing on top of?
Are you doing it like a corpse? You're not gonna do it like a classic, like, is it gonna be a fresh orc head? Is it gonna be a, like, decayed orc head?
Orc head, freshly killed.
Freshly killed orc head.
I think I'll do it like a fresh orc.
But you still want it to sort of have that corpsey kind of look about it.
No,
right?
like fresh, like he just killed it. Like
right, but you paint like you wouldn't do the eyes like you would like a live orc. You'd paint the eyes to make them look dead.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can see. A little bit of operation here. Here we go. Now, maybe I can not off-center this drill bit. Nothing irritates me more like when you're trying to set the drill point and it walks on you.
Mm-hmm.
This drill bit better respect. Walk. Pushing the boundaries of DMCA.
Where is my tiny ass brush? There it is.
I thought you were using that.
Nope.
The Psycho?
No, well, different tiny ass brush. It's actually much bigger than the Psycho. It's my stubble brush.
Is it a tiny ass brush or is it
It's-
a tiny ass brush as Mark?
It's a good
Yes.
brush, but it got fucked up, so I clipped it down to like
Oh yeah.
pretty much just the ferrule. And now I like really thin some paint down with it and kind of like I stipple it on.
Precise detail.
Yeah.
No longer.
Yeah. So I kind of like stipple some of that on, and it makes it look more like stubble, like I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect. Okay. Maximum efficiency. Okay. Let that set. Every time I sit here, I get so dried out when you have that fan on. So for those of you watching the stream, lurking in the background, welcome. Thank you for joining Black Dragon Tavern. I'm your host, Dante.
I'm your host, Deacon. Yeah.
And if this is your first time popping in, welcome. This is the Workbench. And every Friday night, except for this week, we broadcast every Friday night. We do Fireside Chat, and then we do our second segment of our live stream from the Workbench, and usually working on kit bashing, painting, and anything else that strikes our fancy.
Damn.
But we're doing it on Thursday and Friday this week because Deacon's going to be in Milwaukee over the weekend with some friends, hanging out and doing some really cool cultural stuff. And I
going to
totally
McDonald's
lost track of what I was looking at.
like
Oh,
arcades
no,
and
you
shopping.
didn't. Are you serious?
Nah, God no.
Good Lord.
I can't stand McDonald's food.
There it is. Alright, that's probably good enough to clip.
That is probably like the best facial hair I think I've ever done on a mini. Give me a second to finish his eyebrows because obviously you need the eyebrows. And I'm gonna toss him over to that side. See, oh, fuck, ow.
You alright there, Skipper?
Yes, fucked up my knee. Toss him over to your side and see what you think. If I can find my insane detail brush.
That's going to require a little more drilling. That ought to do the trick. Perfect. So the question is,
Yeah.
what angle do I want there?
Alright.
Yeah, that looks good. Alright, give me a minute, we can trade. Oops.
I'm not ready to trade, actually.
Shit.
I just remember that I missed a step on this. I have to shade it so it doesn't look like super bright.
this way. I see. Okay. So pop that out. Here I was going to put it on this rakish angle. And that's not the way the mini is sculpted.
Alright, I am super fucking happy with how this is coming out so far.
Must be. You're like dropping F-bombs and everything.
Oh, that's just normal.
We never really revisited that topic, because early on when we were talking about the stream, we were kind of asking, like, should we drop F-bombs? Should we swear? Should we keep it clean?
Well, I thought we agreed on, yeah.
Well, actually what we agreed on originally was, like, let's keep it clean. If it happens, it happens. But we've been just, like, bickety-bickety-bam. You know, I mean, I guess as long as nobody goes ballistic over it.
Oh, and if they do, it's not their podcast, so. Well, stream, not podcast. Where's my stubble brush?
This glue, super glue on your skin, even though it's dry, is reacting with the resin. So when I press on this mini, it sort of almost reactivates. Yeah, it's kind of irritating. Alright, here, check it out. Hold it by the base.
Hold it by the horns?
Yeah. Blow them horny horns.
It's pretty cool. It's a big knife. See the facial hair
That
on
cigarette, yeah, that's really cool. 5 o'clock shadow. That cigarette kills me, though.
there? Yeah. Just you wait and see until I'm done with it, because
Excuse me.
I got a plan for that I haven't done yet, but it's gonna.
You gonna stick a mini LED in there, light it up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
create a pump
And
so
a
it
thing
goes
that's the size of the head
like
of a
it
pin.
glows. Yeah.
I'm just gonna do that really cool thing that I do where I just like reach over and take stuff
Really,
off
Deacon?
of you or
Really?
something. Oh yeah.
Gonna raid my bench.
Oh god, this has to be shaking
You've
up.
only been doing that since you were about, what, that high? Oh.
There it goes. Sorry.
You didn't get the shirt, did you?
No, it was closed.
No, I'm just
I was
I'm just
shaking
teasing
it
you.
like this and it was a whoop.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good, man. Speaking of, Bob Odenkirk,
Step back.
star of Better Call Saul,
Saul.
also known as Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad, a small heart attack a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Had to be rushed to the ER while he was on set filming the next season of Better Call Saul.
Never smoked on that.
Sounds like he's okay. He's taking a little bit of a rest. But he just seems like he's so healthy. Like, it's a little bit of a shock. Okay. So this guy's glued and ready to prime,
Okay.
which I now have. Happily.
It's just occurred to me, I was about to paint this part and then I realized, oh fuck, I've never smoked. I don't know what that looks like. Shit. Need references quick. Google, help me.
What are you trying to paint?
Hold on.
So I don't know if people can see that or not. We haven't had much luck putting the minis up to the camera like this. Oh, that's probably pretty bad. But, okay.
Oh, it's so hard to see.
I like that. That's a really cool figure.
Can't wait to
I'm
see
a
it all
cheap
painted
date.
up.
I'm so easy to amuse.
Man, even with the Psycho, that's tough. Alright, I need, like, where's my white scar?
What did you use to paint the Poxwalkers? Was that
Oh, fuck. I used Rakarth Flesh, which is, I think, just a
no?
bit...
Didn't you prime them all in some sort of flesh tone or
Oh,
something?
I primed them in Death Guard Green because that's what we had at the time, which made it a pain in the ass to paint over because I used like an off-white. So I used Rakarth Flesh, which is like this.
Yeah.
Bit lighter than Stone Golem.
Oh, excuse me.
And then I used... I'm not even kidding, dude. Like, for the main colors, I put a drop of blue, a drop of red, and a drop of green on my palette. I did some of their clothes in blue, I did some of their clothes in red, I did some of their clothes in green. And then for the skin, I did Agrax Earthshade, Carabug Crimson, and some of this Army Painter purple tone. And I used them in different areas, so I just put Agrax Earthshade all over to get the general, like, skin... Oh, no, I did that last, sorry. I used red tone around exposed wounds and guts to make it look kind of like red and inflamed. And then I used purple in random areas to make it look kind of bruised and beaten. And then I just put Agrax
dead flesh.
Yeah. So that's how I painted those.
See, I'd love to spray prime these, but oh my god, these pieces are freaking tiny. I mean, we're talking like 28 millimeter hands here. You spray it, it's gonna go flying right off the spray table.
Blue tack.
Yeah, but you know the problem with that is then you gotta pick it out after it's dry and you gotta flip it over and stick it back in the blue tack.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, I'm not opposed to that, but
It's just a lot
one
of effort.
shot with a spray can, and then you know you gotta get out into more blue tack, and I could just use the brush on, I guess.
You know what you should do, actually, which might not work for some of your minis because so much is primed, but don't do that yet.
Aye, Captain.
Glue it to the base.
And
And then, no, hear me out. Glue it to the base, and then when you go to prime the model, you just spray prime over it. Because it doesn't matter if all of the sides are primed if you're not even going to see one of the sides of it, you know? So, like, glue it to the base, and that way, you know?
But, so, okay. Yeah, okay. I appreciate the advice. It's good advice. And it would work if I knew which base I wanted to put these pieces on, which I don't.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. It's kind of hard since most of yours are primed already, but, like, if you want to put some on the hobgoblin or on the whatever, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. And they could just be, you know, they could be good for dungeon bits. Like,
What, a 28 millimeter hand? You gonna pull that out for the dungeon? Seems like a...
yeah, everybody'd have to be like, you know, here, it's right here. What are you talking about? That little crumb? No, it's not a crumb. That's actually a hand. Looks like a crumb. I was eating potato chips there. You sure it's not a crumb? No, I'm pretty sure it's not a crumb. I recognize my paint job. It looks like a crumb. It's not a crumb. That's how that conversation would go.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's crumb. You know, so, like, I guess some of them could go, oh my goodness, excuse me.
See, the problem is with those, they're not on sprues. It's like if it was on a sprue, you could just spray the whole sprue and clip them off
Yeah.
and then touch up the areas where you clip
Yeah,
them
no,
off.
I get that. I
But,
totally get that. These are nasty with flash, too. Flash. Oops, can't say that. Can't sing. Yeah, these are gonna take some work.
God damn it. Oh, it's such a pain in the ass.
These are
I've
pretty
just- I've just painted this whole part of this model, highlighted it, shaded, highlighted it, and then realized, oh, that's supposed to be a magazine. That's supposed to be silver, not like the same color brown as these pouches.
Wow, these are messed up. I love it. Sack o' corpses. 13 pieces. Let's count them. Alright, I'm going to have to open these. Nothing like a new blade. Let's see here. Corpses, corpses everywhere, corpses. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Aha! I was robbed.
Are you sure one didn't just fall off to the side?
I looked at the bag pretty carefully. Nope, there are 12 pieces here.
That sucks.
I want a refund. Let's see. This was... I don't want to say how much that was on camera. But if I divided that by 13... carry the one...
So I need to figure out how to make a mix of blood and also venom, because this is an envenomed blade, but it's also got to be covered in blood. So how do I do that?
Inquiring minds want to know. So we're a little over that time.
That's fine.
Just keep rolling with it.
For a bit.
Oh sure. When I want to roll with it, you're like, no, let's call it. I'm good with that. I'm fine. So much flash on these. So here's what I'm thinking. I was thinking about this after reading this article, and reading some stuff that Stefan Picorni was posting on his Facebook wall. Somebody had asked him, when you run these games, are you doing are these usually one-offs, one-shots, or these campaigns? And a lot of the games he runs, like the celebrity games or whatever, those are all one-shots.
Mm-hmm.
So when he comes to Game Hole Con here in Madison, and he's running a game as a celeb DM,
Oh yeah,
they're
yeah,
not campaigns, right? But it made me sort of rethink the way I run my games here. Even though we have a group and I run campaign, I've been rethinking or thinking of retooling the way that I run them.
How so?
To accomplish retooling the adventures to accomplish more in one evening rather than dragging it out, because the challenge is setting up the table, breaking it down, setting it up, breaking it down, because you've seen my tables.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff to get out and set up, and then have to put it away the next day so that, whatever, we can stream or we can do whatever. Which is going to be... that's going to pose its own challenge once we start running the game again, because we'll need that table space. So how do I do that? How do I maintain or achieve that fine balance?
probably, put some effort into it. Think of a solution.
You're sounding a whole lot like a Dilbert mission generator right now. You're saying a whole lot and meaning absolutely nothing. Maximum effort into a solution. It's like, okay. So maybe finding a balance of maybe not doing such elaborate setups, but focusing on specific things that are going to happen or should happen that session, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I need a small brush for that.
It's almost like, do you remember, I don't know if it was the first session when Pam played, and I had...
How was just the arena?
And I had I had that shrine in the forest set up.
Oh, that one, yeah.
You know, because you were gonna go there and you were gonna investigate something, and you know there were things going on there, and the shrine played a large part of it. So I got that piece out and I set it up on the table.
Yeah, I remember that.
Boy, those are some nasty flash lines. It's like every time I shave one off and put a piece down, then I look at it from a different angle. It's like, oh, there's one I missed.
Sounds like the GW resin minis.
Yeah, and then I want to be careful that I'm not shaving off pieces that are supposed to be there, like
Yeah.
bone fragments or flaps of flesh.
It's bad with the GW ones because the flash is like in the worst fucking places you could ask for. It's like, okay, is that a pouch? Is that flash? Is that a cord? Is that a what is that?
Right.
All right, stop. Freeze. Take a look at this. Tell me what you think.
Just gonna keep handing me this.
Yeah, I am. Yes.
Did you paint the filter on there?
Yep.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm glad you noticed it because I was looking at it, I was like, does it blend in too much? You know? But yeah, that's what I had to look up. I was like, oh, I'm gonna paint that little brown part on there. And then I was like, wait,
filter.
Fuck, which side does that go on? But
believe me, even veteran smokers from time to time don't know what side that goes on, and they light that and they puff on the other end.
Look at the other stuff, like the knife and the.
I did. I'm trying to get. I'm trying to do my own.
Don't care. It's good.
Look,
good,
yeah, bastard. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah,
it does.
All right, now give me my mini back.
You know, I really want to see it when it's done. That's when I want, you know, because I can take a mental photograph of that and remember like what it looked like, and then when you hand it back to me when it's done, I'll, you know, play it back in my head and be super impressed. Unless you catch me when I really can't pay attention for shit, then I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. It's not your fault at all. I think I almost took his nipple off. It's Captain Picard. He has been hacked to pieces.
I'm still so impressed. Like, even though I take pictures so often, I'm impressed with how much detail shows up on these cameras.
Oh,
Like,
the Galaxy S10s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look at that. That's a pretty good picture. And that's on,
Yeah.
like, 3 times zoom.
Yeah. Yeah, I did something so weird today. I don't even know how to explain it. I needed to get a picture of the service tag for the new washer and dryer that we got.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, pushed into position, right? So
Yeah.
there's exactly like 3 inches of space between the wall and the side of the washer dryer combo. So I got my camera in there, right? And I can't get my hand in there, but I can't get the camera in there. So I angled the camera a certain way and I put it on like all the way zoomed out, and it locked in and it focused, and it allowed me to take a picture of the service tag on an angle. Came in crystal clear in like HD.
Wow.
It was an HD photo, so I was able to get the numbers off of it. And I couldn't even see it with my own eyes because it was too dark between the space there, but the camera picked it up. Pretty impressive.
I'm still so happy with this, like, facial hair that I painted on him. Because I'm not very good at that. The last one that I tried looked like shit. So...
You just need a stiff, short bristled brush.
Stubble brush. That's why I use this one.
Yeah.
It's the ferrule, so it is, like, pretty stiff. That's great.
I still use those fabric dye brushes, the white ones, because they have it's not hog's hair, but it's pretty close. I mean, that's
Oh yeah, yeah.
and that'll really like give you that
That
5 o'clock shadow look.
I'm surprised. Here's a little fun fact about this Sly Marbo mini. I'm surprised that the cigarette looks as good as it does on there. Because you know what happened? I cut it off. I just cut the entire thing off at his mouth. I thought it was Flash.
Oh my
I cut it off,
God.
and then I looked at the picture and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, that was part of the mini. Oh, and it was a cool part of the mini, too. So I was
I don't know what you did to fix it, but
well,
it
look
looks
at
good.
this. I was looking around my bench. It's tiny. You saw how big it was on the model. I found it. I grabbed it with the tweezers. I put on a glob of super glue, and it's the smallest thing of super glue that I could get, and it's still like 2 times the size of the cigarette.
Yeah.
Popped it on there, and you'd think that it would go like all over the model and make it look like crap, but it just glued it in place.
That's cool.
Really quite happy with how that turned out. Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm over here fiddling with these minuscule flash lines. It's like, just stick a pen in my eye.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna get painted up, and probably won't see this shit anyway. They're just bloody corpses.
Oh shit. You know what I just realized?
What?
I don't actually know if that's his hair color. Oh, thank God it is. I painted all that on the facial hair and his hair, and then I realized I don't know if that's actually his hair color.
But so what? I mean, it looks
Yeah.
good.
Well, the thing is,
And it
the
wouldn't be
old,
much to like add some washes on there and darken it
yeah.
up or whatever.
Well, the old model, the old Slime Marble model, had black hair. The old model also
Well, yeah, I mean,
sucked.
if they're basing it
That.
off of Rambo,
Look at that. Look at that face sculpt.
that face is like, oh,
Yeah, it's terrifying.
it's
to
like
say
some
the
Duke
least.
Nukem shit,
It
but
is.
worse. It's like some late night infomercial salesman on steroids
Yeah.
having a roid rage.
Yeah, that's what the old one looked like. Not not as cool, I would have to say.
What's he holding in his thing? Banana fronds? Banana palm fronds?
Oh, it's like a tassel on the end of his knife. Also, he's got like a fucking grilled hot dog arm. It's got grill marks on it from something.
Get to the chopper. Really, dude?
Hmm?
Oh, that sucks. Donkey balls. There's like a mold line right across this guy's face. I guess I could like,
Oh, no, leave it on there.
yeah,
Because you could paint over it and make it like a cut.
big
or like
slash.
A scar,
That's
yeah.
what I was gonna say. I guess I could, and then you're like, yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Oh, speaking of Marbo, have I told you about his rules on the tabletop?
No. But I'm sure you want to, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. So let me tell you why. He's got some crazy
Wait,
rules.
but before you do that, can I tell you about my character?
So listen to this. His stat line, because that's a pretty important part of it. Move 6 inches, weapon and ballistic of 2 up. Okay, it's pretty good right there. Strength and toughness of 3, not the best. 4 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership of 7, 5 up save. Then he's got loner. Officers cannot issue orders to him, and he can never have a warlord trait. 1 with his surroundings, which is each time a ranged attack is allocated to him while it's receiving the benefits of cover, add an additional 1 to any of the armor saving throws.
He's a lone wolf.
Yeah. Like fighting a shadow. Once per battle, at the start of any of your movement phases, Slime Marble can disappear as long as there are no enemy models within 6 inches of him. If he does, remove him from the battlefield. At the end of your next movement phase, he reappears using the Lethal Ambush ability. Lethal Ambush. During the deployment, you can set up Slime Marble in ambush instead of placing him on the battlefield. At the end of any of your movement phases, he can emerge from a hiding and attack. Set him up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches away from any enemy models. Slime Marble can then do one of the actions on the Lethal Ambush table below, which are detonate concealed explosives. Pick an enemy unit on the battlefield and roll a d6. Subtract 1 from the result if it's a character, but add 1 if it's 10 or more models in the unit. On a 4 or higher, that unit suffers d3 mortal wounds, and on a 7 or higher, it suffers d6. So basically, you set an ambush and you blow up something in their path.
Then the tangent of the cosine,
Yeah.
when calculated
Yep.
during the height of the
Hold on,
harvest
listen
moon.
to this. Snipe with the pistol. You can immediately shoot his Ripper pistol as if it were the shooting phase. And keep in mind, this is during your movement. Doing so does not prevent him from shooting again in the shooting phase of this turn. So you can effectively shoot, psychic phase, shoot again. And then stalk with the blade, which is he can immediately move up to d6 inches in any direction, and until the start of your next turn, he gets +2 attacks. which, you ready for this, by the way? This is kind of interesting. He's got an Envenomed Blade and a Ripper Pistol. Neither of them are really good. Envenomed Blade is Strength 4, Damage 1. Ripper Pistol is Pistol 3, Strength 5, Damage 1. But listen to this. They both have a special rule that says, this weapon always wounds infantry on a roll of a 2 or higher.
Why did those wind up in there?
Oh, I wonder if they fell out of the back.
Yeah, it could be. I had a couple little small, here we go. Perfect. I'm gonna pop these in here until I figure out how I'm gonna prime them. They may actually have to have a little bit of a warm bath in warm soapy water.
Oh, they have
Take
release
some of
agent?
that, yeah, mold release agent on there.
Alright, well, are you kind of slowing down on that for the night? For those ones?
I think so, because
You wanna
I
end
think
it here?
I've gotten about as far as I can go. Let me shut this off on this stuff and get my bench cleaned up.
Yeah. So it is about 10:30. Do you want to call it here?
Yeah, we could do that.
Alright.
So before we go, the big announcement I'm super excited about is if you tune in tomorrow night, for those of you watching tonight, if you're watching the VOD or whatever, before 8 o'clock p.m. tomorrow on Friday, August, what is the date tomorrow? 6th. Tune in for episode 8 tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central, and we're going to be playing Diablo. We're going to do the full 2-hour live stream.
Oh, yeah.
From the game, and I'm hoping that the bandwidth holds out. I'm hoping like we don't have a whole lot of lag on there. But yeah, we won't be doing Fireside Chat tomorrow. We'll just be coming in your face. That's not really a good way to say
No,
that.
that's really not.
We'll be coming at you. We'll be coming at you on the cams from our computers playing Diablo in your face.
And just wanted to mention, we are not starting new characters for that. Normally, I think...
That's a good point.
Normally, if we're playing a game on stream, I think we would start new characters just for that stream. But we are currently in the middle of grinding out some of the stuff for Season 24, trying to get the seasonal rewards. So we will be working on our seasonal characters for the time being.
Yeah, that should be pretty exciting, because I think you've got 2 ethereal things so far.
I do. Well, I can't use one of them. It's a Crusader item, but... yeah, I got the, can't remember the name of it. It's a repeating crossbow.
Oh, you make me sick.
Yeah,
Oh.
So look at this. It's a hand crossbow, one-handed, but specifically, it's called a repeating crossbow, and it's got the whole, like, box on there that
with
has
the
it
bolts.
repeating.
Yeah, nice,
And
nice.
It's got, like, 3 attacks a second. It's
That's
fucking
crazy.
ridiculous. It takes rapid fire to the next level, man. I'm like...
I could see that.
It's like a minigun on my hand.
Yeah, and I've got the ethereal bow of something or other.
It's a good bow, man.
It is. It does over 2,000 damage.
And it's got that
ridiculous.
special rule where your rapid fire gets buffed every second or whatever.
Yeah, it stacks for like so many seconds.
Oh my god, that's so... I want that bow. I would honestly rather have that than the one that I have now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it's a shame we can't trade, because those are all account bound.
Yeah. Yeah, I love account bound items.
I mean, you know, I guess I can understand why they did that, so people don't get screwed out of their stuff. And I traded that and I can't get it back, you know, for kids who play and don't know any better or whatever. But, you know, still, like, I still like the idea of being able to give you gold to help you out if you need gold when you're getting started. But, you know, that's the way it is. I'm super excited. And who knows how long it's going to be before this comes along, but Diablo 4. And speaking of all that, speaking of grinding it out and Diablo 4 and all that, Dana said he asked,
literally just opened Facebook not even a minute ago, and that was the first post, and that was the first comment.
Yep. So he asked, what are we going to be doing? And I replied to him and just told him, we just rolled up season 24 characters, and we're going to try to basically, like, buff them up, level them up, get some good stuff, the ethereal stuff. Pretty much everything I just said right here.
Yeah.
But so that's exciting. So I was trying to encourage him to tune in and watch it. Because again, we could use the support. So if you're lurking and you're watching us, give us a follow. Check in, and every week we do the same thing, Thursday and Friday.
Friday and Saturday.
I'm sorry, Friday and Saturday. That's right. This week threw me off because it's
Yeah.
the odd stream on Thursday night. But we do Fireside Chat during the first hour or so of the stream, and then in the second segment on Fridays we do From the Workbench, which you're seeing here. And then on Saturdays, we do the first hour Fireside Chat, and the second hour we do From the Battle Zone, and then we usually play a game there. And last week it was Space Hulk. The first stream we did was Zombies, and we played Murder... We didn't play Murder Crows. What did we play that one time? Hero Quest.
Hero Quest, yeah,
Yep.
of course.
When Griffin was here.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is
So,
next Saturday?
What is... I don't know what
14th?
next Saturday is.
Yeah, it's got to be the 14th,
Yeah.
because tomorrow's the 7th.
Yep.
But,
before we go, check us out on Instagram. It's Instagram.com/Black Dragon Tavern Online. Check us out
just look us up by the same name.
Yep. Or if you're on YouTube and you're not able to watch Twitch, get with the 21st century, Tom. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Oh,
He's going to be so... I'm going to hear about that later. But that's okay. That's like getting back at him for just teasing him. It's all in good jest. But we are on YouTube, and again, as I said earlier, we don't have a vanity URL, so it's not like you can go to YouTube/Black Dragon Tavern. Look for that link on our Twitch page, and you should be able to click right over there. Or you could just watch the VODs on Twitch. That's it. That's all I've got for the night.
Yeah. I don't have anything else either.
All right.
So,
thanks, everybody.
see you later.
I'm glad that you were here, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.